Welcome to Gamescom. We're here to take a look at Cities in Motion 2, and I'm here with Marina, who is going to tell us a bit more. Do you want to introduce yourself first?
Of course. Hi, my name is Marina. I'm the CEO of Colossal Order, and we're here to show a sequel to our mass transit simulator, Cities in Motion. We're super excited to show you this.
It does look quite awesome. I mean, I've played number one far too many hours, and coming from games like Transport Tycoon, it's really good to see people that, you know, were as passionate about it as everyone else and gone, I want to create a game that's like this, but slightly different and is very, very enjoyable. It's a case of you really have seemed to actually, instead of trying to copy it perfectly and get it wrong, you've made something that's fun and different.
Thanks. That's a great compliment. We really wanted to concentrate on the mass transit because I think it's so interesting to see, like, get to know the citizens of the cities and see where they want to go. And we try to make them all unique. They all have a place to live. They have a name. And it's just a combination of trying to get the most efficient transport network and also cater all the needs.
Okay. So going from number one to number two, is there anything that you've kind of learned from number one to do differently, or things that you found out that people really love that you've kept the same?
There's plenty, because we are a fairly young team. Still, we started in 2009, and Cities in Motion was our first game.
Yeah.
So there was lots to learn, and we have the greatest community around Cities in Motion. I mean, so many suggestions, feedback, excellent, constructive criticism that we've gotten over the years. And I think the biggest thing is that we now have timetables added to Cities in Motion, because that's been something that people have really been asking for. So you know how the Cities in Motion had the history of mass transit starting from 1920s. We now brought the game to present day and made the day 24 minutes long. So now we can simulate rush hour, weekends, nighttime, and now the challenge is actually to set up the system so that you make sure
does take those into account.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's not going to... That was something that kind of... With one, it was a case of you set it up and it runs, and that's then it, but now it's a case of you do have to take into other things into account.
Yeah,
that adds an interesting kind of puzzle aspect to it. In regards to, okay, that means that now I've got my thing perfect. However, it's not perfect because it would be if everything didn't change on me.
Yes. We have now dynamic cities, which is super cool, because now you actually have really a lot of power, and all of your decisions affect how the city grows. So if Carolina shows us how to build a road, we have different kind of roads, from avenues, highways to just one-way streets, smaller ones. And most interesting one is the road with bus lanes, because now you can actually start avoiding those annoying traffic jams in the city center when you can just lay the bus lane there and see the buses go all smoothly. And as you can see, we are actually now having those curvy roads looking more realistic, getting away from that grid-based system we had earlier.
Of course, grid-based does have some benefits, so that's an interesting choice that you made. Is there any what was the real reason behind going from grid to that? Was it just a case of more freedom, or was it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, with the dynamic cities, I think it just makes it so interesting, because now from player to player or from game time to game time, you might actually end up with really different results in the end. So the city might look completely different.
Yeah. I mean, that was one of my kind of complaints about number one, was while it's a really good game and it's an interesting take on the kind of travel system, the amount of freedom that you are given is it's mixed. You get a lot in certain ways, but you're restricted in others.
Yeah.
And that was kind of negative. So you've now kind of expanded on that, and you've gone, we want you to have more freedom. Freedom
yes.
is good.
Well, basically now we have kind of two options for the player. So either you can go all in, controlling every aspect, from the timetables to all of those little details, or then you can choose to have those in the default setting and just concentrate on the construction and building the lines. So because I know that there are those who want to have a lightweight, nice
that's
simulator.
Really awesome that you've catered to that, because that's kind of irritating when it's like, I love the game, but some of the features I just can't get to grips with. So to take that into account is really nice, and that does show dedication to the community and listening to what they want.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we appreciate all the feedback we can get.
So what kind of level structure are you going for? I mean, one you had some really interesting levels. Are you going for actual cities, custom cities in this one? Are you going for a mix? Are you going for what level-wise?
We're going a bit more to the fictional side because of the dynamic city growth. It can look very, very different, like I said earlier, from player to player and from vary between the game times. We will have sandbox mode, just like earlier, and also a campaign. We will have 12 scenarios, and the challenge there is that you're set in certain kind of situations, and then we'll offer these bigger goals. For example, make sure that the city grows a certain percentage, or you have to earn this amount of money, and it gives more freedom. Like, you can choose how you're gonna achieve this goal. So whereas in the first one we were asking for you to build a bus line, now you can actually choose how to take on different tasks.
So are there any random events or anything that can happen and throw a spanner in your works?
Yeah, definitely there will be some in the future. So we're still on the pre-alpha phase, so we don't have everything implemented, but at least this is to give you a general idea how the game will look in the end.
I mean, it's looking very pretty, and the curved roads is really adding to it, because that, with the whole city layout that you've gone with, it really does enable you to make the city that you want to make and then design the transport system for your own city. It really does add a lot more freedom. It's fantastic. And I love the fact that you can now see all the different lines and
yeah, definitely the camera angles and giving more freedom also to the camera is something that we've been asked for, and trying to also answer to that need. And I think it's really lovely in here. You can go really far away and see the lines, and it helps you also to design and see the areas which are not catered for, and then take on those areas as well.
So how large are you thinking map-wise for sandbox mode or anything like that? How big are you thinking?
We don't have that one set yet, but as you can see from the mini-map, the demonstration little town here that we have built for you, you can see how small portion of this is in the whole mini-map area. If Karolina just puts over there. So I'm really expecting to see like huge complex systems.
I mean, when you're very close in, it does look, you've got a city there, and then the further you zoom out and you look at the mini-map, it's just like, I am going to end up with a very, very large city. Yeah,
and we have changed the game engine completely, so I'm expecting to see a lot of improvements from that side also.
Wonderful. So is there anywhere people can go to find out a bit more, or do you want to send them to a Facebook page or Twitter or a website or anything?
Of course. So citiesinmotion.com, our website, you can find a lot of information there. And definitely, if you want to get in contact with us, join Paradox forums, find Cities in Motion there. We are there answering questions and looking forward to hear from everyone.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much.